Hello, I'm Tracy Pa, and welcome to this Sunday's episode of Scope. The Papua New Guinea Floriculture Association hosted the 12th Flower Show in July. It was more than a gathering of flower sellers and growers. It was more about the stories they brought with them to share with everyone who participated in the week-long event. This year's theme was Where Flowers Tell a Story.
The 12th PNG Floriculture Association Flower Show was held in the nation's capital in July. It was held at the National Museum and Art Gallery. This year's theme was Flowers Tell a Story. Association President Lynn Lantaka said members agreed the theme was very appropriate because new stories needed to be told after a 5-year hiatus due to the COVID pandemic. The association itself was set up 17 years ago.
All over the 17 years, and plenty belong all members now line also come from different provinces. All work looking income lo this flower business all work him and only got him story belong all talk him one only got him story belong all share him na. That's why na this yeah flower shop me put him this team so at the time all come all some all share him stories one flower business them all help him all inside of family belong all.
In 2010, the market demand for plants and flowers began to grow throughout the provinces. Since its launch, the Flower Show provided a platform for networking, skill building, and economic empowerment, making floriculture services accessible and helped improve industry conditions. It promoted training and collaboration among growers, sellers, and buyers.
Mipla starting off in 2009, Mipla looking more interest them come. It's just about patience that Mipla come together. At time Mipla go 2010, Mipla starting first second flower show. Long must be arts theater. That's when Mipla looking more other provinces too will take part.
While floriculture in the country stand out many success stories, it came with challenges such as limited market access, financial constraints, logistic issues, no government support, and land farming issues. Despite that, the association continued its work with its members, advocating for better service, keep a sustainable growth for the industry, and continue to encourage farmers to keep pursuing success each year. Papua New Guinea Floriculture Association was established by flower enthusiasts, growers, pioneers to foster knowledge sharing, skill development, and business growth. Mary Sound has experienced how it helped individuals with their formal and informal businesses across the nation, many of whom have blossomed personally and professionally alongside the flowers they grow and sell.
Big plus something I'm training. Time you sim training, you work in business now. Cut flowers or you work supply more flower arrangement. We are ready for export.
The PNG Floriculture Association aims to offer essential training in floral arrangement, grading, cultivation techniques, and market strategies, helping growers produce high-quality flowers that meet commercial standards, grading, and quality control to ensure flowers are of high standards for both local and international markets.
You can look him all get a stall, some only got him all arch belong also. This is part of a stall setup and one black criteria where Mipla award him more prices too. So yes, Mipla got him this year Mipla got him triple shapes where Mipla put him out long. Judge him and table posy and extension na A-line na cascading. And we'll stop out long judging, so all judge go around all judge him the slappiness and overall and we'll stall setup you can look him. You look at more leaves about them stop and part of the stall setup.
This year's flower show included a competition on foliage green leaves. This included foliage arrangement on table posy, extension and hay-line cascading styles. Judges moved around and judged the foliage green leaves of a few stalls. They looked at the setup and foliage arrangement arched in front of the stall entrance.
for the last 5 years when people stop quiet long eme look something name stop, so now people come get together. So by next year I'm look forward to something bigger and better, like all no can try to bring him same thing, same plant, but at least some of the different things like lo by edim some of flavor go one something people lo showcase him long one blo mipla show blo mipla na people also encourage him all na province lo also make him up shows long all, and like all can invite him association, Sapas association can ready logo, some members can go na look him all what all make him, also judge him na kind of some help him all or improve lo one something people all work him in shallow business.
Lantaka said this year they welcomed newcomers to join the show and participate in the competition. They look forward to hosting an even bigger event in 2026. This year's art competition will evolve into more creative stall setups as they plan for more innovative ways to promote the art of floriculture and the industry as a whole.
In the heart of the Pacific, where over 1,000 tribes meet, a nation was born, Papua New Guinea. Carved from ancient wisdom and the dreams of its people, our spirit of independence runs deep. Before the flag was raised, another quiet revolution began, the birth of our currency, led by visionaries like Sir Julius Chen and Sir Yano Bello. PNG cast aside foreign coins and embraced the kina and the toya, symbols of our culture, our pride, and our past.
Before the world saw the beautiful island nation of Papua New Guinea flourish as an independent country, its economy was closely tied to Australia. The currency used was the Australian pound, later replaced by the Australian dollar. But as the call for self-determination grew louder and stronger in the early 1970s, the nation began to realize that true independence went beyond political autonomy. It required economic sovereignty. Among the visionaries who led this transformation were two key figures: Sir Julius Chen, then Minister for Finance, and Sir Yano Bello, a founding father and former member for Kagwa Erave. Their bold vision laid the groundwork for a new era in Papua New Guinea's financial history. The story of Papua New Guinea's currency is not just about coins and banknotes, it's about the heartbeat of a nation. It's a journey that began long before the country gained independence in 1975, a journey that reflects the spirit of self-determination and cultural pride that marks the nation's identity today. Economic sovereignty, they believed, was just as essential as political sovereignty, and one of the most vital steps towards that autonomy was the creation of a national currency. This task, led by the two visionary men, Sir Julius and Sir Yano. Sir Yano, deeply connected to the country's cultural roots, proposed a name for the new currency, kina. The kina was inspired by the traditional shell money, a form of trade and wealth that had been used in the Highlands and Momase regions for centuries. The smaller unit, the toya, was named after the smaller shell currency used in coastal areas. This move to name the new currency after indigenous symbols connected the modern nation to its ancient heritage, ensuring that culture and tradition were etched into the very fabric of the economy. On 19th April 1975, just months before independence, the kina and toya were introduced, initially pegged to the Australian dollar at parity. In a historic moment for the nation, the two currencies circulated briefly together before the Australian dollar was phased out. The early coins and notes of the new currency reflected the country's rich traditions, featuring images of birds of paradise, canoes, and ceremonial masks, emblems of Papua New Guinea's diverse cultures. Through the leadership of Sir Julius and the cultural vision of Sir Yano, PNG established a currency that would become a proud symbol of independence and national identity. The kina and toya would come to represent not just money, but the strength of a nation that had pushed to have control over its own destiny. This visionary proposal was more than a matter of monetary policy. It was a declaration of cultural pride, a commitment to embedding Papua New Guinea's rich traditions into the very fabric of its economic identity. In 1975, just months before independence, the new currency was born, the kina and the toya. They were initially pegged at a 1:1 ratio with the Australian dollar. But as the nation embarked on its journey towards full sovereignty, the Australian dollar was phased out, and Papua New Guinea's own currency became the medium of exchange. The first banknotes and coins were not just financial tools. They were works of art celebrating the nation's heritage. Birds of paradise, traditional canoes, ceremonial masks, each design carried the soul of Papua New Guinea. Through these symbols, the currency became more than just a means to transact. It became a symbol of pride, resilience, and national identity.
PNG has achieved its goal of maintaining its distinctive unity.
The unveiling of the new currency was more than a financial event. It was a declaration of Papua New Guinea's identity and the birth of a new nation. The designs on the notes, rich in cultural significance, reflected a nation that was proud of its diversity, its traditions, and its aspirations. In the years that followed, the kina and toya served as enduring icons of independence. But as the country entered the modern age, changes in technology began to influence how people conducted their financial transactions. On September 16, 2025, Papua New Guinea will celebrate 50 years of independence, and with it, a special milestone, half a century of the kina and toya as symbols of the country's sovereignty. To mark this momentous occasion, the Bank of Papua New Guinea unveiled a commemorative 50 kina banknote and a 50 toya coin. The event was a reflection not only of the nation's economic progress, but of the unwavering vision of its founders. The ceremony was attended by esteemed dignitaries, including Prime Minister James Marape, Minister for Foreign Affairs Justin Kichenko, and former Australian High Commissioner to Papua New Guinea, His Excellency John Feeks. The keynote address was delivered by Governor Elizabeth Genia, the first woman to hold the position, who celebrated the legacy of the leaders who made the kina and toya possible.
It is a great honour to join in commemorating two important national milestones: the 50th anniversary of Papua New Guinea independence and the 50th anniversary of our national currency. Now, as we reflect on the significance of today's occasion, it's worth remembering that the creation of Papua New Guinea's own currency was a foundational step in our journey to independence. In the early 1970s, as our country prepared for self-government, our leaders recognized that true independence required more than political change. It demanded economic sovereignty. And one of the most powerful expressions of this was the decision to establish our own currency. That vision was championed by the late Sir Julius Chen, then Minister for Finance. He saw clearly that Papua New Guinea needed to take control of its own monetary system, to have a currency not only issued here, but one that reflected our own identity, our own values, and our own traditions.
She also emphasized the importance of continuing to honor these values as the country enters its next 50 years of growth.
The names Kina and Toya were carefully chosen. They were not imposed or borrowed. They came from us. When our currency was launched in 1975, it marked more than a change in systems. It was a declaration of identity, of confidence, and of our right to determine our own course. It gave us the tools to shape our economic future, to write our own financial story, and to anchor the spirit of nationhood into every note and every coin. Today, the Kina and Toya continue to serve as enduring icons of our independence, not only in our wallets and marketplaces, but in every idea that we are the stewards of our own future. Even as digital transactions and electronic banking become a growing part of our modern lives, physical currency remains a key symbol of financial health and inclusion.
Papua New Guinea's journey of currency innovation reflects not only the resilience of its people, but also the deep ties it shares with Australia. The two nations have built a strong partnership, evolving together in the world of finance.
It is an honour for me to be here today to help launch an important element in this 50th year of PNG independence. A commemorative 50 Kina banknote produced by Note Printing Australia and a commemorative 50 Toya coin, which is manufactured by the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra. An Australian invention, PNG quickly saw the benefit of the new substrate and became the second country in the world to have a full polymer banknote family in circulation. So PNG has truly been a pioneer in currency technology. Note Printing Australia is a wholly owned subsidiary of the Reserve Bank of Australia, and this also references another great collaboration between our nations, which was the establishment of the Bank of Papua New Guinea in 1973, which was a critical step to achieving independence. In the years leading up to the formation of the Bank of Papua New Guinea, the PNG government worked very closely with the Reserve Bank of Australia to share central banking expertise and systems. Together, this commemorative note and coin will serve an important national role as symbols of Papua New Guinea's 50th year of independence. I sincerely hope they'll be seen right across this remarkable country, although I must admit they're so beautifully designed that you wouldn't blame anybody who chooses to keep them safely at home to show friends and family for years to come.
We are a nation of many nations that has lived over centuries in this part of earth. Our ancestors were seafarers, had technology that many did not have before, traveled between islands and islands in the South Pacific. Our ancestors were cultivators of horticulture, living in their own structures 10,000 years, even before many others were living in settled agrarian lifestyle in other parts of planet Earth. This is our country called PNG. My Huli tribal land is about 400 kilometers from the nearest traditional trading port or area, which is Kikori. This is where our shell monies come up into the western central part of Highlands. It was currency. It depicted currency. It depicted trade. It established wealth, a symbol of a nation, before 1975, a nation in trade amongst the many tribal nations we had in what is now called PNG. Trading was going on. Kina was a major trading currency even before it was subsumed into a paper bankable note we call Kina today. It was a prized possession of trade.
Prime Minister Marape's words reflect the ongoing importance of the Kina and Toya. They are more than just symbols of independence. They are living, breathing representations of Papua New Guinea's spirit of unity and self-reliance.
But he told me, please, not yet. When I am gone, maybe. And so very soon, sometimes before September 16, we will unveil our new 100 kina that will have his face on.
I thank the PNG government and the people of Papua New Guinea for giving us that, that special gift. He is the father of the currency, and we just have to somehow humble ourselves and thank him for what he's done for us. So thank you, everyone.
At the unveiling ceremony, Kina Bello, son of Sir Yano Bello, also paid tribute to his father's role in championing the name Kina during the birth of PNG's national currency in 1975.
My father was first cabinet minister for Works and Housing, and Minister Sin Sulisan brought the submission for the change of currency, and he was the determining factor to address the issue surrounding the naming of Kina, and fortunately he chose the upper denomination of the currency.
As Papua New Guinea marks the 50th anniversary of its independence and the creation of its currency, the Kina and Toea stand as enduring symbols of the nation's sovereignty. These currencies carry not just the weight of economic transactions, but the collective story of a people who have overcome challenges and celebrated victories. In the words of the late Nelson Mandela, first president of South Africa, "It always seems impossible until it's done." For Papua New Guinea, the creation of its own currency was an impossible dream that became a powerful reality. A reminder that when a nation dares to dream, the possibilities are limitless.
That's been another edition of Scope. Visit the TV1 online website, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, and leave a like or comment on our Scope stories this week. Until next Sunday, I'm Tracy Pa. Good night.